It's time to shout to clouds. It's trigger warning.
Oh my word, it's time for trigger warning. How fantastic. Are you excited, Graham?
A little bit, yeah?
Oh, I'm all excited. Might have even had a tiny little sex wee just at the thought of it. Ooh. By the way, we just had an email from YouTube.
Yes.
That a Live Leak show from 2015 has just been age restricted.
Somebody doesn't like us.
Somebody's really not happy with us at the moment. Age restricted. Hello, everybody. Lovely to see you. We're glad to be here. Lots and lots to talk about and to tell you and things and stuff. But Graham and I haven't really spoken. I've had a very unusually horrible weekend. How's yours been?
It was all right. So it's just the heat, isn't it? Just been enjoying the heat. I had a really nice stream on Sunday. Actually, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Took a bit of a risk doing a full hour on a single Owen Jones video, but it seemed to go well.
Yeah. The Guardian thought so as well.
Yeah, the Guardian certainly enjoyed it. Up until 45 minutes in, where it was the only part of the video where I conceded that I agreed with a point they were making about housing. I was like, yeah, socialist attitude can work with housing sometimes, actually. Yeah. No!
Boom, 45 minutes. That's game over. I had a slightly different weekend. Thursday, after we did the last broadcast, Bella the bulldog kept me up all night.
Yeah.
Took her to the vet Friday, what looked like a bad ear. They ran a couple of other tests. I went to pick her up. They said, look, she's all good now. And I thought, she sounds funny. She's breathing funny. So I took her anyway. She gave us antibiotics and all that. And put her in the car, and the breathing was just getting worse. So I thought, I don't like the sound of this. Took her back into the vets. They gave her some different drugs. They called me and said, look, nothing's working. We'd like to anaesthetize her to have a look in the throat. I said, sure, no problem. Give her a cuddle and everything. Said, see you when you wake up. Went outside. They came and got me. And he said, look, they showed me, in her throat. And there was a massive growth in there. And they said, if we wake her up, she will choke to death.
Yeah.
So I had to put Bella to sleep. And had to go home and tell my son. And do you want to know the heartbreaking thing? The real Saturday morning, woke up, I could hear him crying in his room. So not a great weekend in the Hewitt household, just one more kick in the balls from the universe. But I just felt the worst part is not only Junior, but Bella. She just found a groove, dude. She just found a groove. She was happy. She was in a better home now. Everything.
Yeah.
And then the universe went, I'm not quite finished with you, dickhead. You've not nearly had it tough enough just lately. Check this out. So, yeah, not the happiest of weekends in the Hewitt household. On a happier note, because we shouldn't...
I was going to say, yeah. Welcome to Trigger Warning, everyone. How's your Tuesday?
Don't mock my grief.
I'm not... Well,
Don't mock my grief.
I am a little bit.
Don't you fucking dare.
It's good that you're sharing, though, man, because these things, if you don't share them, that's when they cause problems.
There's so little of the shit that's gone on that I can share yet. So just, just... But on the plus side, I went down to the new studio today.
Yes.
Left the new studio today when I realised I can't do that on my own.
Yeah, you phoned me just to say, nah, not doing this, Graham. See you tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, just so we're going in there tomorrow morning to start getting it ready. And by Thursday, we should have something we can use. It won't be the finished thing by a long shot, but it'll be something we can use. And we've got a few months to see if we can make this work. Obviously, the support that we've had's helped with this, but it's being funded mostly in-house, and if we can make it work, then we're quids in. If we can't, we'll probably have to look for plan B. But you gotta have a punt at these things, haven't you?
We'll start doing a pubcast. There'll be some pub that'll let us do it every Thursday.
There'll be something.
You just screaming from one of those little 2-foot high stages.
Pissed up and screaming.
Yeah, you could just at the side, or just at the edge of frame, see people going and coming back to the toilet. just toddling past like, oh yeah, it's in
I can
again.
imagine like Mrs. Hewitt saying, "I always thought that's how we'd end up."
Yeah.
Just shouting in the local, just screaming about things, bellowing. But yeah, we'll hopefully be in a position where we can at least broadcast out there on Thursday evening, and it's a really great space.
We weren't going to originally, were we? But then we thought, well, I'd rather do something from a half built set and be like, hey, look what's going on.
Exactly.
Especially for the Patreons and all that. So you're like, well, this is what you're supporting. This is like the the progress and all the rest of it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a wonderful
sure.
space. It's just full of shit at the minute. But before we crack on, we do have to say hello to Spamo Dump Smoke Steve. How you doing? Sutty's Rehab Paul Nat, the original Doc Chappie, Mr. Kill C1. Lovely to see you guys in here. It's very warm this evening.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It's hot. It's lovely. It's amazing.
I don't like it.
It's like what eight for our Americans friends. It's like 80 Fahrenheit or so, something like that.
We've got Aphid Lippin as well. Hello, dude. No,
Hello there.
it's way too warm, and I don't approve of warm weather because I'm English. I approve of overcast, white skies, obviously, and drizzle.
Fuck that.
Just
No,
a-
I like it like this.
I light drizzle.
I've been sat outside in my tight little shorts and my flip flops, watching the world go by. It's been amazing. I'm a proper stoop rat, me. Once the hot weather comes, I've been out there with a little bit of whiskey, nodding at all the neighbours. Hey, one of mine's just had a baby. Just come back now, just before we went on air. Walked past me with the, with the brand new car seat, and I was just like, oh.
Well, I hope give them our regards.
I will.
I'm
It's
sure I
very-
can speak for everybody here that we're very happy for them and that we hope their child grows up to be a decent gammon.
Yeah,
hello,
yeah.
Jerome Tech. How you doing, bud? Hope you're doing well. I've just had
Hello, sir.
I've just had a message on Twitter from someone that doesn't watch the show, but wants me to retweet something of theirs. Okay, okay, no problem.
Gives a shout out. Gives a shout out, Aiden. Oh, speaking of that, I got two shout outs. One is for Richie Allen because I check in on his Friday morning, not on his Friday morning, on his morning shows, and he always gives us a little shout out. And whether I comment or not, because if I comment, he might be like, "Hey, Graham, don't forget trigger warning." But even if I don't say anything, he drops us a little hello. She's very, very decent of him. And the other shout out is for him again because on Friday he came out live on air.
No.
It was quite significant. I don't know what the future Mrs. Allen's going to do about this information, but yeah.
Hang on, let me bring Twitter up. Just fill me in while whilst
No, you're all right.
I message him live.
But no, I'm dead happy. I'm dead happy for Richie. He's come out specifically to see if half his viewers will turn off, and I'm excited for the results. And I'm just going to keep shouting him out as being part of the rainbow. I love your like elite gamer mechanical keyboard. When you said you were going to reply live on air, I thought you were going to go.
No, there we go. I've just sent him a private message.
Oh,
Nat,
Nat.
thank you very much. That's very, very nice of you.
Legend.
And of course, we got young Alex.
Yes.
On the back end.
He's been private messaging me actually. If you've watched any clips from Sunday's show that's now been blocked, there's clips for it. So to be honest, you can get everything but the Owen Jones bit at the moment.
We'll hook you up with that if you need it. You know what I mean? Don't.
Yeah.
Is it on BitChute?
It is on BitChute. Yes.
There you go. Go to BitChute. We need to start loading this shit up on the live leak as well.
Yes, we do. Definitely. 100%. It's kind of weird that we don't. I mean, we didn't used to because the Thursday show used to go on there and it was just on there, but we've just sort of not adjusted around live leak live streaming going down yet, have we? And we really could.
We should. We really should. Sutty's Rehab says Richie doesn't smoke the bone. It's a wind-up. Bullshit. If Graham says that's how it is, that's how it is.
I heard him come out with my own ears. You can go back and watch Friday morning's show.
Done deal.
And I gave him a shout out for it on Sunday. There was no corrections, no criticism.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No. That's the thing, man. What's the wind up? Are you saying it's some sort of joke?
Yeah, I think Sutty's rehab's got some kind of repression thing going on.
Yeah, you need to look at current year, man.
You need to just go get some cock.
Attitudes have changed.
And cock.
Get some lady cock.
Lady cock and lady balls.
You're not being homo then. You're being straight still.
Ish, I guess. I don't understand that. Speaking of lady balls,
no. And here's the thing. Before you get going on this, man, we have said like, God, we've just got to stop talking about trannies that are doing ridiculous shit. Like, because we were talking about it every week, and then this comes along.
Oh, Jonathan Yaniv, Jessica Yaniv, the Bubbles DeVere of the Canadian trans movie. If you don't know who Bubbles DeVere is, Google Little Britain, Bubbles DeVere, and then Google Jessica Yaniv, and you, dude, it's 2 peas in a fucking pod, okay? Now, Jessica, if you remember, Jessica, I have to be careful because I get a 12-hour suspensions on Twitter for getting this shit wrong. And then I have to remove the post, but only have to screenshot in it and put it. It's very complicated. But I did have a look today, and Jessica claims to be a model, which is quite cool.
Like a hand model or something.
No, not even that. But see, Jessica was famous for being the person that went to a salon, places that contacts people off Facebook who do bikini waxes for ladies.
18 of them.
18 of them, but initially it was just one that we knew about a year ago. I said, I want a wax, and the lady said, sorry, I don't touch the cock. It's for ladies. And he's like, I'm a lady. You can't deny I'm a lady. You must touch my cock and balls. My neighbours are going to be very confused by this conversation. But yes, you must touch my cock and balls, or I'm going to take you to a tribunal. Jessica then repeated this, repeatedly looking for small businesses that look after ladies, saying, you must wax my balls. Wax my balls, it's my human right. You transphobic turf piece of shit, whatever. And now has gone to a tribunal. Now, here's the thing. Jessica is feeling very emboldened because some of them have settled. Not because they're wrong, because they can't deal with this. $8,000 to some demented, tampon-fixated fucking mental case.
He's representing himself as well. No lawyer will touch it.
No, of course not. But he's fucking mental. He's absolutely fucking mental. There's no two ways about it. There goes the monetization on this fucking video.
How have they settled, though? I mean, well, I can see why.
Because they can't be dragged through it, Graham. They're trying to run a small business.
They just don't want the names and all. They don't want the names put out there, do they?
The pain, the pressure of being involved in court cases and anything like that is massive. It's massive if you're not used to it. And even if you're used to it, the costs involved.
Yeah.
So it's just like, there's $8,000, you mad fucking bastard, and I'm still not touching your lady balls.
Some lunatic who's representing herself, not spending a penny, just fucking stay, and who has actually claimed in court to be intersex.
Oh,
like, which
God,
is just...
he did that on a radio interview.
Yeah, like when challenged on it, just lied and was called out in court for lying, saying you are trying to mislead proceedings. Like what? Madness.
Utterly revolting human being. Must be a terrible stain on the trans movement, the real trans movement, actual transgender people
of course,
who've had lives of pain and fucking heartache, and all of a sudden this is your spokesperson. I'm getting better at it, Graham. I said spokesperson. Now, here's the thing, though. There are some supporters of Jonathan. Many of the accounts are actually Jonathan, as Alex picked up on earlier, and I went and had a look. They're getting suspended.
Oh, nice.
He's making accounts to support herself, themselves.
That's really common, actually. You know,
do you know what? I caught someone out for doing that on the Live League forums years ago. I did not let it lie, ever. It's like, dude, you really just made an account to back yourself up. How fucking lame. If I'd known back then the word incel, I would have applied it to that person. But whilst Jessica and her followers are very excited, something's come up. A little something. Something for the rest of us to go. Because remember, we're living in a world now. We're living in a world where a man who has demonstrated clearly a fixation with tampons and women's changing rooms and wanting to show young children how to change their tampons. We're living in a world where that person can go to court to demand women touch his cock.
I know.
That's a world we're living in. To demand, it's his human right to have a woman touch. He's like the incel deluxe.
Like, if Greg's had refused to give him a sausage roll and gone, get out of here, you disgust me, then I'd be on his side in all this. I'd be like, just sell him the fucking sausage roll.
I wouldn't.
Get on with your day.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Him. Not him. Him, Greg's could refuse.
Greg Sales would go through to it. Be like, the whole thing about getting woke and going broke. Be the opposite. Greg's just up and up, man. They can't lose. They got the vegan sausage roll, and everything's just going so well. Everyone's forgot about that old kiddie fiddling nonsense.
Well,
that went on with one of them.
Yeah, well, we gloss over that. But here's the thing. It's not looking great for Jessica right now because a young lady has been in touch with the press. This young lady used to talk to Jessica on Ask FM and kept all the conversations where Jessica, or rather Jonathan, was trying to groom her.
Oh,
she was 14 at the time.
Oh, that's a tasty age, Hayden.
Jonathan thought so. He kept going on about her breasts and wanting her to send him photographs of her used maxi pads.
What's his thing about periods?
We spoke about this, didn't we, with the tomato sauce?
Yeah, but we spoke about this like a year and a half ago about this same person with a weird fixation on kids, like adolescent periods.
Shit fetish as far as they go, isn't it? Just period fetish.
Yeah, it's a boring one, isn't it? Like, well, I don't know. There's certain things I like to get up to at the time of the month because you can't do that, can you? And then you're like, oh, should we do the dirty thing that I like? But for that to be your entire focus is just like, fucking hell. And then for it to be kids as well. No wonder he's so weird.
Well, what I'm hoping is that this blows up big style and he has a proper fucking meltdown. And, basically, I very rarely, as you know, the truth is I very rarely wish harm on people. I don't think anyone should touch him. But if he did decide to drive his Motability scooter off a tall building when all this blows up, I would be fine with that. Not that I'm mocking the disabled. I usually leave that to you. But yeah, I mean, if he decides to drive that cool little Canadian flag motifed mobility scooter off the side of a tall building and just go, I'll watch the video, no problem. No problem.
The thing with him, though, this stuff started coming out ages ago, and he hid behind the trans thing very, very quickly, and it worked. I've seen screen grabs like along the lines of this girl for months and months and months now. Whenever he comes up, because he's constantly getting people banned off Twitter, which has put loads of attention on him.
Me as well. Me as well. I'm the most important.
But yeah, he got you blocked, didn't he, and all that. But he got you banned, and then but here's the thing with when this guy does eventually kill himself, because so many kids have come out against him, saying that he was trying to steal the tampons and all that. Is this just going to be another thing where they're going, well, suicides in the trans community? It's like, no, suicide from a fucking lunatic sex offender.
Well, here's the thing: we all know he's going to get a win out of this in the end, anyway, because he'll go to a women's prison.
Can you imagine?
Guarantee it. In Canada, where you're not even allowed to say, "Excuse me, I think you're a bloke."
I hope someone sneaks a phone in and because all the women they'll all know about him. This isn't some this is a high profile person. They kick the fuck out of him. I've got my own addition to this story. That's just as amazing, and this is July the 22nd. 2019. This has just happened, right? And Yaniv petitioned the local council, township of Langley.
Oh, I know this. Go on.
Yeah, to have an age 12 plus all body swim, which is basically a topless pool party with children.
And no parents allowed.
No parents allowed. And because he wants it to be a safe space.
I can think of nothing safer.
But he'll be there, and he'll be there with all that knowledge he has of asking random women on the internet about changing tampons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's face it, who wouldn't want to leave their daughter with Jessica?
This is why he wants a party every minute. This is why he wants... But he's... He's not just having a pool party for 12-year-olds, a topless pool party for 12-year-olds, where no parents are allowed. This guy has got balls, such big balls.
Big hairy balls, apparently.
Big hairy, yeah, that needs seeing to. That he's actually openly submitted this to the council. This isn't some, like, cheeky thing where it's like, no, proud. And he's just... and he's calling it an LGBTQ2S plus event. What the fuck, Q2S plus? What are we on there?
Kids. Is there not a C in there for children?
I don't know. I'm wondering what the S might be. Well, there's the plus there, isn't there?
Let's be honest, I think we've just got to call a spade here. There's every chance this man might be a wrong un.
I'm starting to have my suspicions, man.
I saw a great blog post about him being a predator, and someone posted on, and he posted on saying, "You're going to be sued. I advise you to take this down." And this blogger, bless her heart, went, "You need to check English law, mate." And that finished.
Spammer wants to know what my dirty thing is. I'm not telling you that. I probably have. I've mentioned many. I've got many dirty things, and I've mentioned them many times. But if you're going to ask me directly like that, how dare you?
Yeah, he'll tell you on Sunday or Thursday. He usually does that on a Thursday. Drone Tech's asking, did we see the stories about a drag queen story times where the kids lay on top of...
One of them got found out as a registered sex offender as well.
Oh,
like, not even,
Jesus Christ!
Like, not even like they didn't even do that basic check. But this is the blind spot with the left. LGBT is a blind spot. For a start, they label it as a community, and your sexual preference does not put you in a community. But as soon as they do label it as a community, and it's like, well, it then becomes a minority group, it becomes protected, it becomes something and it becomes a blind spot for many people, and which is ridiculous. I mean, I know gay smackheads, and I know gay people that are on 150 grand a year. They live in penthouse apartments and do cocaine in the hot tub, quite literally. There's no like the fact that he likes sucking dick and he likes sucking dick. I mean, well, that's how he gets his heroin. But there's no community there. There's no, like, just in the same way that there's no straight community, you know. And but because there's that association, it's why I don't like the concept of pride, which I often don't like saying to people, because they're like, they just assume that means you're homophobic, and it's like, no, I don't like gay pride or LGBT pride in the same way that I don't like white pride, because it's so close to supremacy and it's so close to collectivization. It's dangerous, man. It's dangerous.
Well, Drone Tech's telling us that the kids were fondling the fake tits.
Nah, man. I mean, my little girl saw a drag queen recently and was fucking terrified, and it had nothing. And it had.
Sorry.
It had nothing to do with she didn't look particularly masculine or anything like that. It was just the incredibly over the top makeup. You know, she doesn't look like old people either, and it was a similar thing of someone being sort of visually quite extreme. She's not used to that.
And you going, see them.
And me just going,
they're wrong.
Grabbing a hand as we're walking up and going, danger, danger.
You stay away from those things. They're against God.
The dead kids are dead set. You know full well everyone, every parent knows, and anyone that's been told it as well, that like kids are so sensitive to their own parents. So I wouldn't even have to do that. If I genuinely was prejudiced and it wasn't just some stupid joke we were making, she'd know. She'd know that I don't like that person.
Graham, don't bother with the disclaimer.
Oh,
Everybody here knows.
fuck off. Fuck off.
Just going to say, Aphid Lips asking, does the chat censor bad words? I see some chats showing the stream, but not in the chat box. Not as far as I know.
You might have it set to top chat rather than live chat.
I think it means the stream box in the stream. I don't know. Let's have a look here. What else we got? The original doc says, didn't Yaniv pretend to be Elmo when talking dirty to one of those kids? I believe he did, yes.
I've not seen that.
He used to use an Elmo voice.
This freak is a wealth of material, isn't he?
Tickle me and wax my ladyballs.
We might have to start doing a monthly slot just on him.
Well,
fuck me.
Why not? In for a penny, in for a pound. Probably banned tomorrow.
It is bad though, because your average person that doesn't know, that doesn't know a trans person or whatever, they're gonna see all this and think, oh, and that that sort of ridiculous, the purple-haired stereotype, that prick screaming when Trump got elected, that vision of them all being, lunatics is not good. It's really, really bad, man. Like the fact that she's been lifted up the way she has and defended for so long by the likes of Twitter and by other people who claim to be LGBT activists and all that, and I think, like as you alluded to earlier on, it's just hurting. It's just hurting, people who are going through this. It's sad, man.
Spamo Dump says rumours Yaniv is going to be Ursula in the upcoming live action The Little Mermaid. That's wrong. He's actually going to be the Little Mermaid. He's blacking up for it. He can identify as anything he likes.
Why are we doing that at the moment, by the way, with moaning about if a non-white character becomes a white person in a remake or a comic book adaptation or something like that, but when redheads become black people, which keeps happening over and over again, everyone just seems cool with it. I mean, I don't give much of a shit either way, but it just seems odd. Like it's like redheads are that one thing left where it's like, well, no one cares about you and your representation.
We know we're living in a positive discrimination society right now. So I mean, me personally, I couldn't care fucking less about the black woman being the 007. She's not going to be James Bond.
Yeah, I've not even looked into that, actually.
I just don't care. This is what happens when you let women write Bond films anyway. Terrible mistake. Any more than you should let men write Bridget Jones films, or 50 Shades of Bollocks, whatever it is. Ladies write what ladies write. I mean, look what they did with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters was not a good argument for... it's annoying, though, isn't it?
That's so misogynistic.
The same thing's happening though with this Terminator that's coming out, because they were bringing back what's the name from the first two? Linda
Hamilton.
Yeah, they were bringing her back, and I was kind of hyped for that. And then it was like a girl Defender and a girl Terminator or whatever, and I was just like, well, all right.
But Arnie's still in it, and Arnie says it's really fucking violent.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was excited for it. I was like, yeah, let's see how they update it. And they were like, oh, well, this is going to be a sequel to Terminator 2. And I was like, well, that's a good start. But, I didn't expect much of it. But now, like, the director of someone's come out and said, well, this is going to knock misogynists on their ass, and they're going to be terrified of it. And I'm like, did you have to say that? I don't want to see it now. I don't. Why did you have to fucking frame it like that, mate?
Because it's how they've got to sell things, isn't it? But no one's learning that, go woke. Go broke. Yeah.
But the last two Terminator films were kind of shit. They weren't really bad. They were you could watch them, but you're not gagging to what. It's not like Terminator 2 where you're gonna watch it in 20 years and be like, oh, still stands up. The effects, man. I remember the 90s; they were amazing. You're not gonna be like that at all about any of those Genesis and all that. But what if this new Terminator is of the same quality as them, which is kind of what I was expecting, to be honest. But then you're like, oh well, it's all right, and it's like you.
I think what we're going to find out is that when it's released, it's no different. It's like John Tate just said, that Linda Hamilton was a believable tough chick, and she was in Terminator 2. And it's just going to be her in a younger female Terminator, and then Arnie's going to pop up at 70 fucking years old and creak around the place. And there's this other deadly Terminator, most deadly Terminator yet, no less. And I'm sure it's going to be marvellous. I think they just say shit to get people to pay attention. This is just the wrong shit to say.
Yeah, that's true. I tell you the difference though, and this is what you don't get now. I mean, you get it a bit sometimes in some things, but it here's the problem. And a good example of this is Captain Marvel versus Terminator 2. Like in Terminator 2, when she's in that, spoilers by the way, if anyone for some reason hasn't seen it, she's in the sort of
sake, Graham.
She's in the secure installation at the beginning, and that dude like licks her face. And it's horrific. It's really like horrible to watch. Whether you're a man or a woman, straight, okay, it doesn't matter what the fuck you identify as. You can watch that and feel really uncomfortable for her. The power dynamics there, it's so gross, and that makes her viciousness with him later in the film that much more enjoyable and all the rest of it. And but the problem is though, films don't have the balls to go through with it now. Now it'll be like Captain Marvel, where some guy just pulls her newspaper down and goes, "Hi," like that, and then she just breaks his hand. And for some reason, that's like, they don't. It's like they don't have the balls to, in their mind, to disrespect the female form by having a male have her tied down and have a thing. And it's like, ultimately, though, that's kind of you need to be able to go there. In order for it to be compelling.
I think these things, it's doing massive damage because it's not helping anybody. As we said before, if you want strong women characters, write them. Don't just give them male cast-offs. Oh, there you go. You can have that. Someone's talking about Doctor Who. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. However, I do know my son was a massive Doctor Who fan. He's moved on to other things now. But he tried the new series and he just, he's a 7-year-old boy. He's like, that's not Doctor Who. It's a lady.
It wasn't. The whole point of Doctor Who was like the scripts were always written so any of the Doctors could have played it. Like anyone that's ever played the Doctor could have picked up that script from any of the series and carried on doing it. Yep. And the writing was just so fucking poor. She could have been all right. She could have been, and she had enthusiasm and energy.
But it's not going to work. It's like, everyone's online screen championing the fact that it's, in the new 007 movie, he has to give up his 00 designation, and the person that gets 007 is a black woman. And everyone's like, oh yeah, this is really pissing off the racists and the misogynists. But the truth is, what it's actually doing is pandering in the worst possible way, and it's basically patting women on the head.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's doing.
It's pandering to people who don't go and pay to see these movies either. That's the thing. That's why Star Wars has ended up on its ass. I mean, obviously, it still makes a phenomenal amount of money, but it doesn't make the money that it needs to be making anymore. No. The merch sales have gone out the arse with it. Because and that's because they always knew that there was a certain number of girls that bought into this stuff, but then the thing that put them into mega mansions with private jets were the boys, the male sales. Like lots and lots and lots and lots of women like Star Wars, but all men like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this weird. Yeah, it's just pandering, and it is always. It is always pandering to people who do clapping tweets on Twitter.
And then download the film of Pirate Bay.
Yeah, they don't fucking pay to see it.
Or Tea Time or whatever the fuck people use now.
They're not the pricks that are going to see that movie 8 times in the movie. They're not the people that are doing that. They do the tweet and they carry on looking for the next person whose life they need to ruin because they've spoke out against Yaniv's balls, And I don't know. It's pandering, and the problem is it's the destruction of art. I keep thinking of was it James III? The Puritans that came in back in our history, with the big white hats.
This is all getting a little bit highbrow for GW. Keep going. I'm enjoying this.
No. Well, it was.
This is good. Go.
There was a big wave there where, and because this has happened before. This exact line of thinking where you just slowly ebb away at everything. So art just gets softened and gets flattened. And they banned Christmas. They banned dancing.
That was Cromwell, wasn't it? Cromwell banned Christmas.
Was it? And yeah, but it was just. I feel like we're going towards that now, and even in the way that they have a uniform that they wear, or they have different uniforms for different sects or whatever. But they're slowly crushing art because for them, art isn't about expression and being challenged or any of the rest of it.
No, it's about affirmation.
Yeah.
That's all anybody wants now. Affirmation. Nobody wants to be challenged. No one wants to think. I've been dealing with pissy-arsed fucking Remainers all day. We'll get on to why soon. That'll be most enjoyable. But they were racist. All the tired tropes, and it's like, oh, fucking hell, people, can't you think of anything better? It's just this bullshit stereotyping and simplifying and talking in headlines just so some other dreadful tofu eating sock and sandal wearing bellend will give you a fucking like on Twitter, whilst saying, I'm a feminist in the vague hope that one day you'll suckle on their fucking ladycock. No, I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm absolutely sick and fucking tired of the restrictions because of these fucking people.
Well, it doesn't work.
Why does anyone fucking listen to them? That's what I don't understand.
Well, people are learning slowly, but they're very, very vocal, unfortunately. They are also writers for many, many, many publications, news outlets, magazines, and all that. That's who they write for. And they're all on the same Slack groups, so they all get together to write about the same stories and all that. It's very, very incestuous. And they are, to bring it back to the thing, they are deciding what is pure and what is not pure. And so you can make edgy jokes, and if you're part of the pure group, then you have a good reason for doing so. Look at Graham Linehan.
Look at the amount of them pricks that fucking made jokes about Tommy Robinson getting raped in jail.
Oh god, yeah. And that guy that just spoke out against reparations, and he was getting called a coon every 10 seconds on Twitter. Every 10 seconds, someone's calling him a coon, and it was all jokes. For the most part, like they were all having a laugh with their mates. But it's
Do you know what's enabled this, though, Graham? You know what's enabled this? The press with their such and such happened, and people online are losing their minds. And do you know what? No one ever was.
Dude, I put the BBC on today, BBC News, and I only had it on for 10 minutes, and I just went and sat back outside, and all they were doing was talking about tweets. It was Boris Johnson, and it was like, what was trending on the back of it? Not my PM. And, so-and-so fact-checked someone he said and something he said and all this shit. And it's like, are you seriously fucking reporting? Most people aren't on Twitter, BBC. I mean, this whole thing about, so-and-so. So you can find anything you want on Twitter. Anything. Even the moments, the creative moments now. Sometimes it's only got 100 likes. The moment that the tweet they're pointing to, they're like, look what happened. It's like, what, 100 likes? I've slagged off Democrats and got 300 likes, and shit like that. Where's my fucking moment? And it's like, no, but they're creating a very, very small, narrow sector thinking. And yeah, you're right. Even the fucking BBC is in on it now. Today on Twitter. Me.
I've seen it time and time again where the lazy-ass fucking journalists wake up, browse around Twitter, find two fucking lunatics somewhere moaning about something, give it a bit of spin, bang it up then, before you know it, there's hundreds of the fucking screaming, shutting pricks fucking on Twitter howling about it, and it's self-perpetuating, and it's lazy journalism, and it's just fucking clickbait bullshit, and it's just big fucking filthy, dirty echo chambers, and that's where you find the supporters of Yaniv or the supporters of the pedos that I found on Twitter that time, or the groups of people that think, hey, it's okay to fuck dogs because they like it. That's what enables these fucking Fruit Loops, because they've all got supporters who are doing it because they're right on. Yeah, hey, we have to respect everybody's views.
Part of the system that they've refined, though, is they go through your following list. And if you're following the wrong people, they shame you away from following those people. If the wrong person likes your tweet, they shame you away from it. In fact, I've seen a few big right-wingers recently following and retweeting loads of left people so that the other ones can shame them. Like, oh, you just got retweeted by Ted Cruz, you fucking sell out and stuff. They're like, but I can't control who does it.
I got a load of that over the anti-Semitism thing, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was following some Jewish accounts, and it's like, oh, you're clearly a Zionist thing. I was just fuck off, you
No, I just like
feeble-minded
to be
buffoon.
informed. Like I said, if Hitler was on Twitter, I'd fucking follow Hitler as well. But here's the thing though. So that refining thing is there. Like so, like oh, they shame you out of following anything out of the in group, out of the pure people, and then if you're only following that and that's your only source of information, the tweet that you get shown is of someone calling that Yaniv guy a fat tranny. Fuck off, you fat tranny. That's all you see in terms of like,
I had been
that,
drinking when I posted that. I'd just like to say,
but like, so then I might tweet, oh God, have you seen all the shit about this Yaniv? And then so one of my woke friends, all they've seen is that one, something along the lines of that example where it's someone with 8 followers going, fuck off, you fat tranny. And they're like, well, yeah, it's terrible what she's had to go through. And you're like, but in my world, because I've actually informed myself, I'm like, yeah, grooming kids. And then we're both looking at the same picture and seeing something completely different. It's like, those tattoos or whatever, where it's one word one way and then another word the other. Where it's 6 and 9, isn't it? We're both looking at it, and I'm like, it's 9, man. And yeah, but it is 9. Not 6.
it's Muslims.
Bloody Muslims.
I'm so disappointed, achingly so, and I've done this rant before, so I'm not going to do it again, but how things have turned out online. This was not how it was meant to be. This
It'll get there, though.
This is not what we all thought back in like the late 90s, early 2000s when shit was really kicking off. We didn't think this was going to be it. We didn't think all the power online was going to rest with either data from Star Trek or tall Tyrion Lannister. Yeah, that's not how this shit was meant to pan out. Yeah, I miss the guys from Consumption Junction. They're the guys. They're the internet site people you want out there in fucking weird Asian countries doing blow and hookers all the time and videoing it for your entertainment and telling you stories about living debauched lifestyles so that site guys like me could sit there drinking a coffee going, cool.
Yeah.
I don't look at any website now and think, yeah, the fucker behind that's one twisted up motherfucker. He's really cool. Nowadays I just think, what a shame that someone so beige has attained such power and influence over the world. How can this be?
They're forcing that on everyone else as well. They are, like I said, when I was in Palo Alto, it was that, where YouTube and Facebook is, it was so sedate and so like I went in the pool of the building I was in, and it was so strange for people that I was just relaxing in a pool. I was having a drink. I was just drinking. This is amazing. And it was just not something that happened because it was the most it was that just everyone was pure. Everyone was. I got my ass to San Francisco as soon as possible because at least it gets a bit dirty and dark down there.
You can't vape there.
No, not now.
You can
well,
smoke.
That was the thing.
Can't vape.
It was quite, after having been in New Orleans and things like that, it felt quite sanitized and quite but I'm from England, so I'm used to that environment, to be honest. It wasn't that unusual, but I'd be worried about it now because it's only got worse in the last decade, hasn't it?
Well, before we move on to our next big story, which we'll have to do,
yes,
because
we're running out of time, aren't we?
We're doing all right at the moment, but I found something. I'm putting my readers on because I'm of an advanced stage. Have you heard of Jared O'Mara?
No.
He's a Labour MP for Sheffield. And he has a Twitter account, as you might expect, Jared O'Mara. But he has a comms team, and the main guy running his comms is Gareth Arnold, at Gareth Arnold UK on Twitter. Now, this guy didn't like his employer very much, and it came time for Gareth to leave the team. So, Gareth did so. And here were his parting words. Comms team signing off forever. This is on Jared's account.
Good.
Jared, you are the most disgustingly morally bankrupt person I have ever had the displeasure of working with. You do not care about your constituents. You do not care about anyone but yourself. I cannot and will not defend you and your vile, inexcusable contempt for the people who voted you in, you selfish, degenerate prick. My fear is that now, as I quit, the rest of the staff will leave and once again you will close your office and stop helping anyone, but still take your wages until you have the decency to call a by-election. Leaving constituents desperate for representation again. No matter if they are having their homes taken away, their liberties disgraced, or being deported because of your inaction. Sheffield Hallam deserves so much better than you. You have wasted opportunities which people do not even dare dream of. Consider this my resignation. Gareth Arnold. Gareth, I doubt you're watching this, but I just want you to know, we at Trigger Warning, we salute you, sir.
Man, 100%. That's an amazing way to sign out. Good man, good man.
Stuff. The only thing he missed, last thing should have just been the goatsy guy. Just the goatsy guy pulling his ass wide open. That would have been like the pièce de résistance.
If I was in the position right now to offer that fella a job, I'd definitely be getting in touch. 100%.
That's a wonderful resignation. But seeing as we're talking about politics, I guess we should address the elephant in the room.
Oh, I best sit up for this bit then,
Yes.
Respect.
Welcome to the new British Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson. We've been talking about it for coming up for 2 years now, saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I can never remember his real name.
I'm just going to call him El Presidente from now on.
Well, it's actually Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. And Pfeffel has a silent P. Of course it does.
Pfeffel. Say his name again.
Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson.
De Pfeffel. King de Pfeffel.
Pfeffel. He's now our Prime Minister. We have perhaps not got the hero we deserve, but the hero we need, or some shit. I don't know how that phrase goes. What I do know is he might end up being terrible.
He might end up being all right.
He might be ineffectual, but whatever else, we're going to have so much to talk about over the next however long he manages to cling on to power before the rest of the people in the party get rid of him.
Oh, dude, I was so sick of Theresa May. I was done with that shit.
But the one thing you can't deny, and everyone that hates him is fine, like him or loathe him, and it's fine to do either, he's got charisma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he can do the rousing speech. And he can give it out in a way that Theresa May never could. In fact, most prime ministers in living memory couldn't. So no matter what happens, we're in for a very, very entertaining time in UK politics as everybody in Parliament frantically looks for a way of edging him out. Yet, here's the problem. If they don't manage to, and they do call a general election, which Jeremy Corbyn is demanding, how does Jeremy Corbyn think that's going to play out?
He's never going to beat Bojo. He doesn't stand a chance. He'll do well. He'll do okay. He won't beat
the thing is, I don't think he will. I think that the smart money would say we're going to wait till after October 31st. Then we'll have a general election. By which time the anti-Semitism thing will be boiling up nicely. With the EHRM or whatever it is, the ones that are investigating the Labour Party now, and I just think the whole thing's just fucking hilarious. I think it's delicious, and the fact people saying I'd rather have had Jeremy Hunt. Why? He's worse.
Oh no, he's awful. He's awful. Like all right, when we're talking about the choice between the two of them, at least I don't believe anything that Boris said during the hustings and during the debates. Like, I don't think that he was so dodgy about his Brexit plans. Like, I'm looking forward in the next month for finding out what his actual intentions are. But saying that, at least Boris does kind of lean a bit more on the side of liberty, especially compared to Hunt.
Jeremy Hunt is a hateful character who once
Yeah.
wrote a book about fucking privatizing the NHS. He's terrible. At least Johnson, you're getting someone that will at least pretend to be nice. I don't think he's anything less than a calculating player. I don't buy this public persona of buffoonery in the slightest.
No, but you know what? We need a bit of that. It's running the fucking country. If you want someone who's going to sit opposite Donald Trump, who already likes him, by the way, he's already given him a shout out and said, "Yeah, it was the right choice. I think he's a great guy and all this." But he says that about everyone. Trump, doesn't he? He's great. He's great. And then he'll tweet on the toilet about what a spineless dick he is. But Theresa May couldn't even look Donald Trump in the eye. It was pathetic.
No.
And at least with Boris or what was his name? Fefe.
Alexander Boris de Pfeffel. De Pfeffel.
King de Pfeffel. King de Pfeffel.
I think we should bring back the silent P. So it's Pfeffel.
Pfeffel. King de Pfeffel. But King Pfeffel, he can sit and look Trump in the eye. He can have a conversation with him. And not only that, one of the things that I'm hoping he's not lying about is aiming for zero tariffs. And right now, it costs an insane amount to send stuff back and forth between the USA and the UK. And that's a big part of that is the EU bloc, isn't it? It's the protectionism from the outside thing. And the first computer I tried to buy, the income charges was £70. It was more than the computer I was paying for the fucking computer. Just a PC case. It's like I'm not paying you £70 just to mail it. Fuck it, it wasn't even, but anyway, if he can keep Trump on side, I'm really hoping we get that because their economy's phenomenal.
I agree.
And they've got more jobs than need filling right now. So if we can if we can get in with America, fucking great.
Okay, someone's just asked that, and I agree completely. I agree 100%. Smoke Steve says I'm ignorant why-eyed BJ called an anti-Semite. Boris Johnson hasn't been called an anti-Semite. However, he has made a couple of gaffes over the years. For example, in 1998, yes, we go back, he was writing in the Telegraph where he described gay men as tank-topped bum boys.
You know what, man? Right, Owen Jones keeps talking about this. He keeps going, "Oh, bum boys." He keeps saying bum boys. But honestly, I'm not that bothered by the bum boys.
I'm not bothered in the least. But I'm just reading out some of the things where certain people are taking issue.
People get really, really, well, I don't know if Owen Jones is genuinely bothered by it or just playing politics.
Well, here's what Boris said about same-sex marriage in his book, Friends, Voters, Countrymen. He wrote, if gay marriage was okay, and I was uncertain on the issue, then I saw no reason in principle why a union could not be consecrated between 3 men, as well as 2 men, or indeed 3 men and a dog. So that's now taken as he's comparing gay marriage to bestiality. On UKIP in 2004, he said, I can hardly condemn UKIP as a bunch of boss-eyed, foam-flecked Euro hysterics when I have been sometimes not far short of boss-eyed, foam-flecked hysteria myself. So that's just a cool one. That's all right.
This is all fine. I mean,
no, Graham, we've got to read these out. These are beautiful, dude.
Go on.
On voting for the Conservative Party in 2005, voting Tory will cause your wife to have bigger breasts and increase your chances of owning a BMW M3.
You know what? That's what I want to hear, man. That's what I want to hear.
On the Papua New Guinea and leadership elections in 2006, for 10 years, we in the Tory party have become used to Papua New Guinea-style orgies of cannibalism and chief killing. He described Hillary Clinton in 2007. She's got dyed blonde hair and pouty lips and a steely blue-eyed stare, like a sadistic nurse in a mental hospital.
This is what we need. That Theresa May nonsense. I want to hear this bollocks. Because here's the thing, man. Well, here's the thing. Here's my hope right now. I'm in a beautiful place because, Donald Trump is an arsehole. Some of it is calculated. His approval rating is the highest it's ever been right now. even with all this racism nonsense that he's getting thrown
He's
at him,
playing it like a violin.
playing it perfectly. But regardless of the fact that it's political gaming and all that, he's a horrible bugger. He is. But his policies are all right by and large. The country's doing well. And I'm kind of, at the moment, until reality sets in and he actually starts doing stuff that winds me up, right now I'm in a happy place where I'm like, right, he's a dick. He says stupid things. He puts his foot in his mouth. His stunts are awful. Do you remember when he got stuck on that wire with the flags? But that's fine. I don't give a shit about all this. I don't give a shit about him saying bum boys. As long as he can run the fucking country. As long as he gets us out of Europe properly and does decent trade deals with people and all that.
Can I could I please just read a couple more of these out, Graham? Because
Go on.
I want people to remember this guy was our foreign secretary.
He was so bad at it as well.
I'm Tony Blair visiting Africa in 2010. What a relief it must be for Blair to get out of England. It is said that the Queen has come to love the Commonwealth, partly because it supplies her with regular cheering crowds of flag-waving pickaninnies.
Pickaninnies. Dickhead.
On Vladimir Putin in
that.
2015, despite looking a bit like Dobby the house elf, he is a ruthless and manipulative tyrant. On the EU...
He does.
Yeah.
He does look like him, though. That's not unreasonable.
He is a ruthless and manipulative tyrant. Napoleon, Hitler, various people tried this out and it ends tragically. The EU is an attempt to do this by different methods. I can't stop. These are beautiful, Graham. You've got that. The Trump's coming soon as well.
Go on.
But he was talking about, Erdogan of Turkey in 2016. And this is what he said. Right. Now, this is about a leader of a large country, okay? There was a young fellow from Ankara who was a terrific wankerer till he sold his wild oats with the help of a goat, but he didn't even stop to thank her. So he called Erdogan a go fucker. That's beautiful.
Good.
Beautiful.
Good.
On Donald Trump, I would invite him to come and see the whole of London, except that I wouldn't want to expose Londoners to any risk of meeting Donald Trump.
Hey, that's not the only time he slagged him off.
No, the only reason I wouldn't go to some parts of New York is the real risk of meeting Donald Trump. He doesn't have to be friends. He just, has to do it. He's just incredible. He's literally, the man's just, we're going to be not stuck for things to talk about.
Mate, here's the best part as well. Like, as soon as Trump has a phone call with him, which will probably be within the week,
Probably
Trump will
tomorrow.
Trump will do a press conference and just tell everyone word for word what was said, because that's what he does. He's like, yeah, I just got off the phone. Do you want to know what I said? He don't give a fuck, Trump. He'll just tell you. But as far as Boris is concerned, you won't even hear from him about it. Like, an aide might put out a thing saying that the president congratulated him, and that's it.
It's like Jeremy Corbyn, wasn't it? I don't want to meet Trump. I'm not interested in all this. Trump went, yeah, his people asked to meet me, but I'm too busy. Oh, sick burn. So here we've got Prime Minister Alexander Boris de Pfeffer Johnson. Marvellous. Absolutely. Now, I know it's Labour have been coming out complaining that we didn't get to vote for our Prime Minister. They didn't complain when that happened with Gordon Brown, did they?
Yeah. Fuck off, Labour. It's like, why don't you come up with a credible, actionable Brexit plan, and then we'll start. I'll start taking seriously you moaning about the other stuff. Fucking
Natalie's in. Hello, Natalie. Nice to see you.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's wonderful. I think we're coming up to halcyon days for podcasters and people that talk about politics, because we got Trump on one side of the pond, de Pfeffer on our side of the pond. We got France kicking off. It's just, what a time to be alive. I'm
getting a bit annoyed at people not getting notifications for our channel at the moment, though. It's frustrating me.
It's happening with the live stream as well.
Yeah. I mean, guys, you can always, set a recurring alarm. Tuesday 10:30, Thursday 10, Sunday noon. Just go in your calendar on your phone and set it, so you'll get a thing 20 minutes before. Just set it forever. Yeah. When it says repeat, say yes, forever.
Natalie there, all right, gorgeous, and underneath, Graham.
What? Fucking. I used to be cool. Someone was messaging me about Game Face today. I was like, dude, I don't play enough video games. Never mind read about them enough to do 4 hours of gaming content a week. No, I said no, I can't do that anymore.
YouTube just isn't loving us right now. Smoke Steve says we've been skipping the Tuesday show a bunch lately. That is entirely my fault. Apart from when Graham was on holiday.
Yeah, I was.
It's entirely my fault. My life's been too messed up. Way too messed up. But hopefully, yeah, we're coming out of at least part of it and entering into an entirely new messed up period with this new studio. But, you know, let's see how we get on.
I've been sat here Tuesday, 10:20, just there going, all right, no problem. Yeah, whatever, Aidan. I don't mind. I was in bed anyway. And then I'm just like... I have all my lights ready to go, and he just texts me like, no.
Well,
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure compared to some other people out there, what's happening with my life, fuck all. But for me, it's been just disruptive.
Yeah, I can't wait till it's over and we can sort of talk about it a bit more publicly, actually, to be honest, you know.
I'd like to talk about all of it, because you've got to talk about your failures as well as your successes, and your problems as well as your privileges. So, but I just don't want to do that yet. But yeah, I'm sure we will. Like I say, compared to most people, it's fuck all. But the pressure and the stress has been shocking. It's been fucking awful. It's been rubbish. Luckily, I've got my Graham. The man who, when I in my car, when I want my phone to call, I have to call him Graham.
Graham, phone. Hey Google, phone. Graham.
But you know what I hate? I'll say phone Graham. It'll ignore me. So I'll say phone Graham, and it'll go calling Graham.
Yeah. Google's weird like that. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up, aren't we? It's like
The original doc's right. If Hayden's bust, Graham should go solo.
Yes. No, I should do.
You do that on Sundays anyway, don't you?
I do that on Sundays anyway. I could do. In fact, I nearly did the other week, but then it's one of them where I've been on real like old man routines at the moment. So I've been getting up at 5 or 6, and then I'm in bed by 8 or 9. So when I do this, I have to set an alarm to wake me up. I wake up and come back in and do it. And then
love the way you're making out like that's just a recent thing. For over a year, it's been. Is Graham awake yet? Has Soph elbowed him awake on the couch?
But my point is then, so that if you do have to cancel on the Tuesday, you know, I'm never sat at the computer when you cancel.
By the way, Natalie's just said
I'm just like, I just go back to sleep.
Natalie's moaning at me there that apparently because I rated the Punisher she tried, dude, it's so bad. -1 point. Natalie, you're just wrong. But you are a lady. So that's all right. That's all right. You're supposed to like different things. Things about periods and cookery and stuff. The Punisher is for men. It's full of the stabbing and the violence. It's not for the ladies. That's fine. Was that supportive, Graham? I'm trying to be a new man. I'm trying to be one of these new men. I'm a feminist.
You probably are a feminist in the traditional sense of the word. You know, you're just about 3 or 4 waves behind where it is right now. Dude, I've got to talk about this guy because I don't think this is appropriate for a Thursday one. But fucking Ted Cruz, man. Like the longer this dude's beard gets, the more I like him. It's like he's as it's getting more and more Santa-like. Or more lumberjack-like, he's just becoming more of a fucking hero. So he's obviously been taking on Google and all that, but in a meaningful way, in an actual legal way.
Yeah, but I can't forgive him.
Why? What for?
Because he's anti-net neutrality, and he called it the Obamacare for the internet. And
he
was part of the reason. He was part of the reason so many people on the right got this ridiculous notion that it's some kind of dreadful socialist idea, which was then perpetuated by the likes of Alex Jones and Mark fucking Dice, God, that prick gets on my nerves.
All right,
His
all right,
voice is wrong. Mark Dice speaks wrong. His voice doesn't match. He should be
that's the
far
thing-
more manly. Can we
that's
just
the
talk
thing.
about how manly he should be for a moment?
Like I've never liked Ted Cruz. I've never had a thing for him, but like it was when he became target number one during the midterms. The entire left in the country, like millions poured into Texas against him. Trying to get that veto to beat him, and he nearly did. And he staved it off and he won, and I was like, fuck me. He just took on the entire country and won. I was quite proud of him in that respect. I was quite proud of his sort of resilience or whatever for that. But now he had the FBI director. Wait, I've got it written down. Christopher Wray. And he face to face during an official hearing has asked him to open a RICO investigation, which is, I've got that written down, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organization Act. And it was really, really useful because it was actually the FBI director having a conversation openly, because there's people like me going, the fucking terrorists, blah, blah, blah. And it was a really, really interesting conversation. It's worth checking out on YouTube, actually. It's on Ted Cruz's own channel. And the conversation goes very much along the lines of the FBI does not investigate ideologies. Obviously, you're free to think whatever the fuck you want, which is why, and I defend this, this is why Nazis are allowed to exist in America, and they're allowed to march, and they should be allowed, as far as I'm concerned. Get it out in the sunlight. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you're doing. And I'm certainly not going to hit you, because all that's going to do. And so the FBI can't investigate them based on the fact that they want to bring down America. They want to destroy all of America, which is essentially what they want to do when you break it all down. But they are restricted to violence. Obviously the FBI can go after violent acts, and obviously so what they are looking for are violent anarchists who go under the banner of Antifa. There's like this weird technicality of it, everything. But Ted Cruz has put it in writing now. He wants an official RICO investigation. And I think there's something there. There obviously is. It's just not been legally defined yet. But because they all make out like, well, it's just groups of individuals who all happen to wear the exact same clothing and carry the same flags and stuff. And they're kind of trying to make out that it's not different chapters of the same unifying force. But yeah, interesting times. And there needs to be, man, because
Antifa needs to be smashed. The large net robber barons, such as Tyrion Lannister and Data, they need to be smashed as well. Let's say we all know, just talking Mark Dice in there, who I obviously categorically believe to be a twat. And the one time I posted that on Twitter, he unleashed his hair-lipped followers upon me, and hundreds of them descended upon me in a rage, and I had a most wonderful weekend.
He didn't quote tweet you, did he?
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest pussy move ever. That like you can't just stand up to someone one to one. You quote tweet.
Oh, he did. He just called me a liberal and then organised a pile-on. But I was fine with that. But the man's a dreadful asshole. We all know there's only one conservative commentator anybody should be listening to, and that's Drone Tech. Because the man speaks properly. He's got a man's voice. He's got a man's outlook on things. He's the conservative commentator for the sensible, reasonable person. Mark Dice is for those people who have trouble breathing through their nose. Simple as that.
I do like Crowder though as well, but not necessarily for the Crowder has.
I see him as something different. He's more like an entertainment channel. Entertainment aimed at people of a more conservative political persuasion.
Yeah, like there's stuff there that I know he is presenting a very specific side of an argument. I know that he's admitting certain things so that his worldview is strengthened. He can't help it. He's been in the media too long now, and he can't help but create propaganda from a certain point of view. But in terms of his worldview, I enjoy the sense of humor that comes out of it and the comedy that's there.
Who's that other one? He does loads of weights. A complete misogynist. He's absolutely dreadful. I've forgotten his name. We covered him on a show once. Another big hitter. right-leaning commentator. I'll have to dig him up for next week if I can. He was a dreadful bellend. Made the most horrible things about, you can't actually date rape somebody.
Oh, now you've said that, I've got it in my head.
Was it Cernovich?
Oh, yeah. He's a weird one, though, because I've actually watched a couple of his things now, and he's not that bad. Like, overall, he wasn't that bad. He seemed all right.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Once you start getting into the excusing rape thing, I
don't know. The problem is, though, that, like, most of the stuff around that, it was a lot of the stuff that was in that realm was smears. It was like...
but I know they were his words.
Yeah. But there was like he was the one behind the Epstein thing coming out, wasn't he?
Something else has happened.
Like he was actually mentioned in the court documents as being the driving force behind the arrest. So it's one of them, isn't it? With people, it's like, well, he might have said something about that, and I can't speak on it, to be honest, because I don't know the context. But then there's also the fact that he's brought this child abuser to justice almost single-handedly by the looks of things.
Well, have you heard of Andy Signor? Or it might be Signor.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Why does that ring a bell? Let me have a look.
He used to be with Screen Junkies, and he was accused of sexually abusing April Dawn. He lost his job, lost his career. He'd built everything up, lost it all. Her boyfriend jumped in. A lot of supporters online jumped in. There's Andy Signor there on Twitter. I don't know if that'll focus. Actually, probably won't. So.
Yeah, I know this guy.
Now,
I've just found him. Yeah.
His previous employers have just settled out of court, so he can talk again. And he's released a video with evidence that she was lying.
Oh, really?
That she was coming on to him, and at the time she said he was in her hotel room, pressuring her into things. They were chatting on Messenger. And you know what? Her supporters still support her, and she came out with this bullshit thing. Let me see if I'm fakes. I don't think she's blocked me yet. Let me see if I just bring up April Dawn. Where's she gone? The quartering is all over this, obviously.
Oh,
so I follow someone and he follows me. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he works for the Keemstar.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm very unsure about a lot of the bullshit these people talk about, but it just means I've been exposed to like this really weird subculture of drama on YouTube that I still don't know about. But this April Dawn, she's been defending herself, and she released a statement, and it said, when I came forward a few years ago, I knew everything that was displayed in the video today could be made public. I decided to go forward regardless because I wanted to make sure no harm would come to any more women. She's referring to the truth that he posted. She then goes on to say, I was ready then, and I'm ready now to take the hits, comments, or criticism you can throw me, because at the end of the day, I know my truth. My truth. And what I did was right. I was a teenager and I made mistakes, and I've had to live with them. Yeah, but you didn't lose your job and everything, did you? I'm not giving any more of my time or energy to this. I'm moving on for my own mental health. Thanks to all of those who continue to support me. And they do. But you see, she accused a guy of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And he lost everything.
As is the way.
He lost everything, and her and her boyfriend benefited massively from this happening. They benefited very, very well. But Andy Signor, I apologise if I mispronounced your name, he's come out swinging, and you should definitely go and take a look, because he's posted a video. But on Twitter, it's at Andy Signor, so it's ANDYSIGNORE. Go and have a look on Twitter. It's quite fascinating, all the stuff he drags out in this video, and just how quickly the Me Too movement can just tear your fucking life apart.
Yeah. Without
looking back, and when it's exposed, continue to support each other. Nice. I if everything that I've seen is the case, I obviously wish Andy all the very best.
He's there now, hasn't he? It's only had 491 retweets. In in a day. That's not much for who he is at all. You know, because
He's been getting a lot of coverage, but you got to remember he was demonized for what was it 2 years as being an abuser. So
well, that's the thing. The evidenceless allegation will get 500,000 shares, but the actual thing, and I've not even watched it yet. But it's always the way it goes, isn't it? You know, the lie goes around the world before the truth's got its boots on. Kind of thing.
and it is a shame because none of the majors seem to be picking this up yet. So hopefully someone like Rogan will get hold of it, or someone like that, and they can run with it. Because if it is true that she's done this, then surely she has to face some kind of charges.
Yeah, well, it happens far too often that that's not the case, doesn't it? But let's see.
Doesn't that make it worse for all the women that are being or have been abused?
I know someone who I can't go into the details anyway, but it's a similar thing to this, and it has been confirmed that there was not that the allegations were untrue, and these were serious ones involving violence against babies, and nothing's come of it. Nothing, and it's like he nearly lost his kids over that. It was only. Well, I can't go into the specifics or the details, but it was luck that he didn't lose his kids, and here's what happens in those situations: it's you lose your kids, and then the kids, once 2, 3, 4, 5 years has passed, and you finally clear your name, they're already settled at a house.
Yeah.
They're already settled at a school, and it's true. You don't want to move a kid. You don't want to move a kid's school, or whatever, and they just tend to stay. It just sort of peters out.
I don't remember the details now because it was a long time ago, so I apologise. But there were a couple who were accused of abusing their children. Their children were taken off them. The case went on for years. The children were given up for adoption. They were adopted.
Yeah.
The couple were then cleared of all charges. It was all bullshit. They couldn't get their kids back.
No, it's crazy, isn't it, man? You leave. Oh, I can't even handle that stuff. That's why I get so funny with those people when they come round. Like that. I'll never forget that one that was here when just after my daughter was born, and it was some welfare check, because they do that, don't you? When you have a baby, like someone comes the day after, literally the day after, to check you're getting on the boob all right, and then the day after that, but then it spreads out, so it won't be 2 days, then it'll be 3 days, then it'll be a week, then it'll be 2 weeks, and then it'll be a month, and then by the time you've seen someone after that, you're going and seeing them in their surgery or whatever. And I remember one of them that came maybe after 2 weeks, and she left almost instantly because it was tangible how much I couldn't stand her, it was a health and welfare check or something, and the first thing I did was ask her a medical question, and she said, "Oh, you need to ask your doctor with that." And as soon as she said you need to ask your doctor, it was basically my entire body language was telling her to get the fuck out of my house right now. Because the only reason she was here was to decide whether or not I'm allowed to keep my kids or not. That's all it was. It's what, and I know because I've done those sorts of jobs, not with kids, but with, where I've had to do those kind of assessments, but not on such a grand scale as that. But where I've been in a position to do that, and yeah, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck.
We had one of those visits, just one.
Yeah.
And she turned up, and Junior was poorly. For the first few months of his life, and he was always screaming. Always, he was in a bad way.
Oh yeah.
So she came round. It'd been 2 weeks. We were exhausted, obviously like any new parents, but also because it was pretty full on. And she said, "You go and get a cup of tea. I'll sort him out." Like the expert. She gave up after about half an hour, made her excuses, and left. Do you know who actually came to our rescue? True story. The next door neighbours to us. They were from. I think they were from Nigeria or Zimbabwe, I can't remember which, to my shame. He was a preacher, used to be a doorman at a club and things like that. Also he did exorcisms in his house. I could hear them through the wall. It was something else. But his wife came around to see us one day in particular, and we were in a really bad way. It was just before we found out what was wrong and how we got it sorted. And she picked him up, and she just started singing to him, some sort of song from Africa, I guess, and dancing around the living room. She did that for over an hour. and just gave us that 1 hour.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, she managed what the medical profession couldn't. So I'll be forever in her debt. Wonderful human being. Before we go, we talk about YouTube screwing us on the
Yeah.
thing. I was watching a couple of vape-related videos because I like some. I like some of the guys that do vape reviews.
That's all right. I'll allow it.
I'm glad you'll allow it because I do it on the Trigger Warning channel, so you can see them later. So I was listening to one guy, and he's a bit fed up with the whole thing or whatever, and that's fine. But he also said, we can't make a living anymore because he won't take money off, manufacturers and things. But YouTube have demonetized all vape-related products because it's now a tobacco-related. It wasn't vaping with Vic, actually, Alex. It was the vaping biker. And seems like a very nice chap. But he was saying how, he can't earn a living doing it. The alerts don't go out anymore. They don't get promoted anymore. So anyone new to vaping could see one of these guys or could go and just stumble onto one of the drama merchants that's just after free shit. And it's everyone's getting fucked with. The minute you talk about politics or vaping or anything, that's it. You're finished. So we're not. If we'd have done this, if we'd have moved on to YouTube 2 years ago, we'd probably have been doing okay. I don't think we'd ever have been, like big hitters, but would have been okay. But now it's all a struggle. It's all a struggle.
Yeah.
And the truth is, we have to build numbers. So this is where I'm reaching out to you, our viewer. Please, 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 if you can't chuck in financially, that's cool. Just share the links, get us out there, help us build this audience for this wonderful service that we provide, where we fix the world just for you.
I tell you what as well. Another thing you can do, if you're with someone physically in front of them at a party, at any kind of function, anything, ask them if they watch Trigger Warning TV on YouTube. Ask them if they watch it. Aidan and Graham, do you watch it? And if they say no, get them to open YouTube on their phone there and then and watch them subscribe. Oh, it's that easy. Just search Trigger Warning TV and watch them click that subscribe button. Go on. I do that with people. I go on, do it. Because you tell them, they're never going to remember. Make them do it there and then.
Yeah, just help get it out. And the more we can get in, the more we'll do. It's that simple. We're doing everything we can to build the new studio, create something cooler, get the live shows on the go where we can invite you to come with us. And if we, some will be at a venue, some might be at the studio, depending on how many people want to let know where we do this. But we've got all this shit that we're going to do, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So you just chuck in with us. And like I say, times are tough. You can't donate, doesn't matter. Just share the links, be a part of it. Get on the website, triggerwarning.tv, sign up, use the forum, use the social side of it. It's not tracking you. At the minute, there's not a single ad on the site. I'm not sure there ever will be. Just be a part of it. Just dig in, enjoy it, make the most of it. Get off the big social media tit and just be a part of it. Do it with us, because this could be truly awesome and a huge amount of fun. And let's face it, I'm always right. Graham's at least 50% of the way there. Look how he's improved since he's been hanging around with us. When I met him, he was just some broke dick woke fucking game boy.
Here we go.
Who wanted to remain and all these things. But look at him now. Look at him now. I'm so proud. A vile, racist Leave supporter. Marvellous. Trigger Warning could do this for you. We can make you better. Graham agrees. I'll just turn his volume off. There we go. Graham agrees with. Look, he's speaking now. You're absolutely right, Aidan. It's top one. This is fantastic, mate. It's great. Oh yeah. See, there we go. You're back in the room now, Graham. I just turned your microphone off just for a minute so they could hear you more clearly. And we can do that for you. Just be a part of it. Join us. Young Alex. Yeah, we should get Young Alex on some of the podcasts so we can just rip the shit out of him. We used to get Happy Dog on, didn't we?
Yeah.
But he doesn't play with us as much anymore now. Shame.
He's gone into gaming, hasn't he? Just games. Every time I put my PlayStation on, he's playing something.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. What can you do?
Yeah,
he's a busy
guy. All right.
But you can usually catch him over on Urbana Fox's Twitch channel, can't you?
Oh, Dirty Man, yeah, he loves it.
You can usually catch him on there. So if you do want to catch up with Happy Dog, that's the best place to do it. Right, I'm trying to think if I've misnamed him, dead named him or something.
Oh, he said that, didn't he? Because he's one of his many sock accounts. I was like, oh, there's Happy Dog. Messes or whatever it was. It's like, don't you dead name me. You've just doxed me, Graham. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It's not life or death. No one gives a shit.
Fuck's
Like,
given,
nobody
zero.
cares. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to boogie, guys.
Yeah.
Trigger Warning TV, please. And we are gonna be going live on Thursday. We weren't gonna, were we? But we are gonna now. We're gonna do something.
We're definitely going to be live. Remember, guys, like Graham said, triggerwarning.tv. And if you do want to kick in and help, because Lord knows we need it, it's patreon.com/triggerwarningtv. And pretty soon that'll all be going through the website as well, so we can get away from most of these third-party weirdos that keep telling us what to do and say, and telling me that Jonathan Yaniv is a lady. I still don't believe that, and I'm not going to.
Shit, man, that reminds me. Yaniv was on Infowars. I noticed just before we went on air. And yeah, Alex Jones. From what little I've seen, Alex Jones was challenging him. So I might be getting myself on BitChute and having a little look at that.
Challenging what, to an arm wrestle?
I don't. Well, no, but just saying. Like, I don't know. Like it, by the looks of it, it looked kind of respectful, but it was just saying. Maybe this isn't appropriate behaviour, but I don't know. I need to see it. Can't speak on it.
I bet Alex was treading so carefully. There's only so many lawsuits a man can fucking tolerate.
That's the thing with it. It kind of got that vibe that he knows that his words have consequences now.
He pussed out completely.
I'm not going to say that until I've seen it, but yeah, that was the impression that I got from the 30 seconds I saw.
Oh, one last thing on Alex Jones. I don't know how old the video is, but he actually got one of the Rothschilds on his show. Like a young Rothschild who just goes around the world raising charity and doing adventures and shit, and he fucking tore into him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the young Rothschild guy was like, "What are you doing?" I don't control the world. I just want to help with the, because he was one of these save the planet type guys. Well, Alex wasn't wearing that for a moment, and Alex gave him what for. Look it up. You will really enjoy that. Right, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Thursday, as usual, 10 p.m. Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'll see you later.